Dear brother, jump in the car, take a ride with me to work, man. Every man has a breaking point, but not every man stays broken. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Dear Brother podcast where grown men keep growing. Let me tell you something, man. One of my favorite scriptures, man, is time and chance happen to every man. I found it to be true, and a lot of you know it's very true. What it means is you never know which way the wind is going to blow. You never know what's going to happen day to day. You don't know. And all our preparation as men, you can prepare financially. You can prepare in every kind of way that you think you need to prepare, and you still don't know which way life is going to blow. What happens is, man, it's a test of your manhood in those rough spots of life. It's a test of your manhood when your marriage is falling apart and you got to take the lead on what to do. It's a test of the manhood when your kids come to you with a report you never believed they would say to you. It's the test of your manhood, man. It's a test of your manhood when you hear that you have a sickness or some type of disease that's messing with your body while you still got to take care of your family. Every man has a breaking point. I don't care how strong we are. I don't care how wise we are. I don't care how physically fit we are. We all have a breaking point as men. The question is whether you'll stay broken or whether you'll find your way back to your feet again. That's why it's never a need to judge any man for where he is, because you don't know what it is to walk in his shoes. You know what I mean? That's why we need community of men like we have here on the podcast, is because you never know how life is going to treat you. And you never know that the man you judge for being where he is today, you could be there tomorrow. That's just how life is. So the real question is not whether you can be broken, because all of us can be broken. Every one of us can be broken. I was broken when my daughter passed away. Broken. I was broken again 4 months later when my father passed away. Broken, 59 years old. I was broken when my mother passed away, 62 years old, 5 years later. Pancreatic cancer took my mother in 10 months at 62. Broken, bro. I've been broken by addiction, broken trying to survive. I've been broken leading people. I've been broken while I traveled the country, telling everybody else how to get better, and I couldn't find a way to get better myself. Man, life will break you, but one thing I found, man, is God's grace always allowed me to be able to stand up again. And that's the question you really got to have, bro. I think a lot of us try to avoid being broken because we think that people won't think we're men. You can't avoid being broken, man. You can't. You can't avoid being broken. You don't know, like right now in government, you don't know who's going to get laid off and when. You don't know that your future and everything you set up could be turned off in 1 second because of what's going on in government or politics. You don't know. You don't know. So how do I get back up again? Well, let me tell you how I got back up again, man. I wrote a book called Home Where Hurt Men Heal. Go on ChristianWinners.com today, man. Grab that book, Home Where Hurt Men Heal. And what I talk about in that book is what I learned is that home is the sanctuary of the mind of a man. That's where home is, right? Home. This is more home than even the bed you lay in. Because no matter what happens in life, the question is, can you find home? Because home is where you put things back together again, right here. No matter what gets broken, no matter what breaks down in your life, protect your mind, because that's the sanctuary where you think, where you dream, where you perceive, how you perceive life. This is it right here. And so again, your breaking point, man, and all of us have a different breaking point. All of us have a different breaking point. When I was on dialysis at 37 years old, I don't know if that was my breaking point. I was broken because I couldn't believe that I was in that position. I couldn't believe it. I think I remember, man, my breaking point, honestly, I remember my breaking point after my mother passing away. Because, again, I lost my daughter, my dad, and my mom in a 5-year stretch, and I eulogized all of them, one by one. And still, I was still pastoring my church. I'm a retired pastor. But I was still pastoring my church, still traveling the country, still doing world missions while all this stuff was going on. And you know what I thought, man? I thought that as long as I could work and do my thing and travel and help everybody else, that my life would be okay, that everything would work out, you know? But my job, my career wasn't fixing that brokenness. But I remember after my mother died, man, I was driving down the street. I don't know where I was going, but something said you need to stop. You need to stop somewhere. So I was somewhere near my sister's house. So I said, okay, I guess I'll stop there. Man, and all of a sudden I felt my skin tingling. I felt my blood pressure just rising. My heart was pounding while I was driving suddenly. And I just threw up all over the car, man. Threw up all over the car. Got to my sister's house, stood in the door. It was like a movie, man. I was standing there like a zombie. I just couldn't take no more. I couldn't take no more. I couldn't get the vision of my daughter's casket out of my mind. I couldn't get through the fact that my best friend, my father, had died and I was 27 years old. You know, those moments where you really need your dad to help you and to help you think things through. I didn't have that wisdom no more. And then my favorite girl, my mom, was gone. And again, I was still carrying the world. I was manning up, or what I thought was manning up. I thought I was doing the right thing, you know what I mean? I thought I was holding it down. What was happening, man, I was holding myself down because I wouldn't acknowledge my breaking point. And then it just broke me. I couldn't take no more. My mind wouldn't take no more. And it wasn't even like a breaking, like, oh, go get high or go drink or go whatever. It wasn't that. I was depleted, just depleted as a man. I couldn't carry no more. And most of you out there have hit that point in life. I don't know what took you there. It could have been the death of somebody. It could have been somebody you loved. It's a whole lot of stuff, man. But you hit that breaking point, you know. And I think the first thing you got to do as a man is, number one, accept that you have a breaking point. Running around acting like you don't have a breaking point, man, that's not manhood. It's not manhood to act like you don't have a breaking point. You got one. Sure enough, you got one, right? So know that you have one and acknowledge that, because that's the only way to really make a comeback or not stay broken, is to admit that, I have a breaking point. The next thing you need to is start admitting or coming face to face with is where you lack as a man. You listen, none of us are a perfect specimen, man. None of us are a perfect specimen of a man where everything is together. And no, man, you lack something somewhere. All of us lack something somewhere. And I'm talking about some things you can't even improve, right? Some of this stuff is not even about improving. It's just like, that's the way you are. You'll never have this thing. You know what you got to do then? You got to surround yourself with people who you're allowed to tell you where you lack and allow you to help you in the places you lack. Because you know why? That's real manhood. Real manhood ain't acting like you ain't got nothing wrong. Real manhood ain't acting like everything cool all the time. Real manhood ain't acting like, man, yeah, I'm straight, I'm cool. Even though we tell each other that, your lady asks you what's wrong. Man, I'm good. Your family asks you what's wrong. No, I'm good. And the whole time you breaking down inside. You're breaking inside while you're saying it. And it's not that you're lying, bro, when you say you're good. It's that you're trying to be okay. I get it, man. Hit that like button, man. Become part of this podcast community, man. This is what we build together. Grown men keep growing here. I've been there, bro. I know what that is. You ain't faking. What you're trying to do is convince yourself, I'm going to be all right. And you know what? Sometimes you can't truly convince yourself. You need to share where you are so that somebody else can say, you know what, man? You're going to be all right. It don't take much to lift us up, man. But you can't be lifted up when you don't admit you've been down. You can't ever heal from something you're not willing to confront. You can't, right? So you got to confront. You got to admit where you lack. Start inviting people in your life to check you when you try to act like everything cool, and to check you when things are falling apart, right? Not only check on you, but check you. Because as men, we all need to be checked. Like, yo, come here right quick, man. Let me holler at you. You know what I mean? Let me talk to you right quick. And when a man talks to you like that, somebody that love you, a brother that love you, a dad, an uncle, a grandfather, you know what he's about to do. He's about to get in your world. He's about to get in your world and check all your devices that make you try to act like you okay. Every man has a breaking point, but not every man has to stay broken. So how do I get up again? Okay, let me help you. How do I get up again? I got to admit what hurt me. I got to admit what hurt me. Some of us, man, we walk around with low self-esteem for years. Here you are in your 30s, your 40s, even your 50s. Some of you even your 60s. And you still have low self-esteem because of what somebody said to you years ago. What somebody discouraged you. Somebody had something crazy to say to you and it broke you. And it determined how you made decisions. It determined what woman you thought you were good enough for. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff, man, it comes and it affects us for years. And a lot of the things that happen in our life, man, you really look up and you start to have to admit, like, wow, man, I've been dealing with this since my teenage years. Wow, man, this pain hurt me when I was 20. Here it is, 25 years later, you know, and you still wounded by that thing. That's not to say you weak. It's to say you never confronted that. You know, there's all, well, listen, in our lives, we hear thousands of words from people and people say stuff to us. But all of us know that there's certain stuff that people have said to us that you'll never forget. You know, certain insults or even certain good stuff. But certain things you'll never forget. It'll always be a part of your memory somewhere. It hurts you. The question is, can you admit that? See, the more you can admit, my brothers, the more free you'll be in life. The more honest you are about what crippled you, that's the road to being healed again. And that's real talk. What crippled me? When did I drop the ball? Or when did somebody drop the ball? Was it my parent? Was it my first wife? Was it my first girl? Was it my best homie who I thought would never do me like that? What was it that got you in the situation where you are to make you think of yourself at a low level? What was it that challenged you to the point where you thought you were worthless? What challenged you, or what came in your life to make you build a cocky attitude that nobody can touch you? Nobody can say nothing to you. What in you made you a tough guy that wanted to hurt anything around you that offended you? Because we all weren't like this when we came out the womb, right? What is it that makes you wanna that makes you so sexual with so many women? It ain't that you want that lifestyle, but what is it? What is it? And listen, I know this is a grown man podcast, so we're not talking about some of you guys who are gonna say, "No, man, you know, I'm gonna knock all these girls down, bro." When you that's like a drug, and when you're doing that, it's something that you're missing, that you're trying to get, and it ain't gonna come from no woman's body. You see what I'm saying? It's something broken in all of us that seeks for something, and whether it be a D-rug, whatever it is, we all are seeking for something to heal brokenness in our lives. So the way to get back up again is to admit what's wrong, bro. What's wrong with me? Sometimes that's the question you need to ask yourself. Instead of standing 10 toes down, I'm good, ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm solid. Come on, man, you are a solid man. That don't mean you don't have broken places. Let me say it again. You are a solid man. That don't mean you don't have broken places. We are solid men. Don't mean we don't have broken places. Don't mean we don't have blind spots about ourselves, man. You know, you ever been in relationship after relationship and you run into the same problems? Right? After a while, it's not the girl. It ain't the woman. You know, when you become the only common denominator in these situations, it's you. But again, in order to have a healthy relationship with a woman, in order to have a healthy relationship with your kids, you got to be able to admit what you lack, where you're broken, what you never learned. Right? I had to learn that in parenting. I was so hard on my kids because my dad was hard on me, and then being a kid preacher at 14, there was so many expectations of me that was tough, man. And so my life went so fast. I had to be a grown man at 14, 15, 16. Had grown people asking me for advice, as I traveled and I spoke. So I was in that same pace with my kids. I had to stop. I had to assess. So how do I get better? You got to stop, bro. You got to assess. You got to see, man, what's going on with me? Why am I like this? And what can I do better? You know the next thing you got to do? Don't rush the process of getting better. Take your time. You know why? Because you didn't get like that overnight, bro. You didn't get broken overnight. Something broke you over time. You're not gonna get healed overnight. It's like I was in the gym years ago as a child, as a 20 something year old, and I was in there working out 2 and 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Workout in the morning, afternoon workout again at night, things like that. And the guy asked me one time, he said, "You training for something?" I said, "No, man, I'm just trying to get my body together, man, quick." He said, "Man, you didn't tear your body up quick. So you're not going to get it back together quick." And when you do stuff quick, it don't last. Right? So take your time in your process, bro. It's not a female trait to have a journal to write things down. Because sometimes you can talk yourself through things in your life. But what I found, man, is nothing like being able to sit down and put pen to paper. I'm talking about, it's something powerful about it. I can't even explain it. But it's something powerful about, even more powerful than typing. It's like a connection when you writing down your process and writing down how you thinking, man. I guess my goal today, this morning, guys, is number 1, for you to ride with me to work so we could talk as brothers. But number 2, for you to know that you don't have to stay down. You don't have to stay broken, and you don't have to act like you're broken. You don't have to live like you're broken. Every man has a breaking point, but not every man stays broken. There are some men that will stay broken, right? Because we'll grab the bottle, we'll grab the blunt, we'll grab the anger, right? We'll grab a new attitude that's really not even good, but it's protective. We can hide behind it. Because some of the stuff that we act like it ain't who we are. It's the man we had to build to deal with the pressures of life. But you can't be happy, man, behind the mask that you had to put on to get through life. Will you survive? Yeah. But a lot of y'all tired of surviving, and you want to live. And the only way to live, man, is to be able to start. You assemble the mask. You got to take that mask apart piece by piece. You don't have to stay down, bro. Every man doesn't have to stay broken. Again, some men gonna stay broken because we put on an attitude to justify. But you know some of our hiding places that don't hurt nobody but ourselves. And after it get done hurting us, it hurts how we raise our children. It hurts how we love our wives. Ultimately, man, it hurts how you love and value yourself. That's what it does, man. So you don't gotta stay bound today, bro. Hey, man, I got a new book out too. I told you about Home Where Hurt Men Heal on ChristianWinters.com. But also, man, I got my newest book out called Dear Brother, The Blueprint to Becoming the Man of Your Own Dreams. I'm gonna lay another podcast out, man, about that book. But go on ChristianWinters.com. I also have a free book on ChristianWinters.com about removing shame from your life. I taught a 3-part series years ago, and then I wrote a book on it. It's called Removing Shame from Your Life. It's a free ebook. Go on my website, man. Pick up those books. It's time for you to be the man you want to be. And you can't be what everybody else want or everybody else need. But it's time to sow and love into yourself, bro. Thanks for hanging out with me, man, on the way to work. I love you, bro. Make sure you love you. Walk this life out every day, man, with no fear, no shame, and no compromise. You hear what I'm saying? You matter, bro, but you got to know it. Like we end every podcast, bro. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery. All we got is right now, bro. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do about it? I love you a ton, man. Until next time, hit that like button. Share this, man. Not for my sake. I'm not looking to become a YouTube star. I'm looking to lift men up everywhere. because we in trouble. We under attack. And it ain't the world. It's our own inner stuff that's hurting us. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video, man. Let's grow together. Love you, bro. See you soon. Peace.